years of this Liberal Prime Minister's failures, home is where the broken heart is. Housing has become more unaffordable, unattainable, and more broken than ever before. The Governor of the Bank of Canada admitted it was Liberals' overspending that caused 8 consecutive bank interest rate hikes in 1 year. And now, homes are unaffordable than ever before. Mortgage costs don't even cover interest payments after 8 years of the Liberals' failures. Will the Prime Minister take some responsibility for breaking housing and stop gatekeeping so we can fix everything he broke?
The Honourable Minister of Housing.
Inform the honourable member that he just has to look very close to him to see that the biggest gatekeepers are all in his caucus. They vote against every housing measure to remove barriers against more housing supply. They vote against supports for first-time home buyers to build more affordable housing, but also to help them access more homes. They voted against the Rapid Housing Initiative. They voted against the Co-op program. They voted against the National Housing Co-investment Fund. I'm running out of time, Mr. Speaker, but they need to get their act together.
The Honourable Member for Calgary Forest Lawn.
We will always vote against failed Liberal policies that double home costs across this country. And after 8 years of their failed policies, rents have doubled, mortgages have doubled, home prices have doubled, and home ownership is nothing but a dream for newcomers. Not everyone has a trust fund like this Prime Minister and can absorb all the tax hikes that they keep causing on newcomers and Canadians alike. Will they finally take some responsibility and admit that they've caused this housing crisis and get out of the way so we can show them how to fix it?
The Honourable Minister of Housing, Diversity and Inclusion.
Mr. Speaker, Canadians can see through the gimmick on the hot air, and this is the fact. When we brought real measures to help Canadian renters with the cost of rent, they not only voted against it, but they played procedural games in this House to delay the passage of that much-needed rental supports. In addition to that, we've passed legislation to increase housing supply to help Canadians who are purchasing their first home, and we've put in place measures to make sure that we remove barriers to building more housing supply. In all of those measures, they voted against it.
The Honourable Member for Peterborough-Kawartha.
Mr. Speaker, 9 out of 10 young Canadians have completely given up the hope of ever owning a home. Wow. Why? Because under this Prime Minister, housing and rental prices have doubled. The average monthly mortgage payment for a Canadian family is $3,000.
Wow.
Mr. Speaker, this is outrageous. Canadian families are suffering. Food is up 12%. The time for change is long overdue. Will the Prime Minister show some leadership? Step down, take accountability, or get out of the way so we can fix what he has broken?
That's a good point. Honourable Minister of Housing.
Their party's record on housing is very clear, not only in government but even in opposition. They haven't taken the time to reflect on the importance of federal leadership and investment in housing. Their caucus has been very clear that they believe the federal government should do less on housing. We on this side of the House believe that we should do more, and we are doing more, Mr. Speaker.
L'honorable député de Chicoutimi-Les-Fjords.
Monsieur le Président, je vais vous dresser un...
Mr. Speaker, let me tell you what's been happening in Canada since 2015. With 8 years of this Prime Minister, average mortgage payments have nearly doubled. After 8 years with this Prime Minister, the cost of groceries has gone up by 11.6%. In a G7 country, feeding oneself and housing oneself has become extremely difficult. But it's never his fault. When will he admit the harm this is causing Canadians and take responsibility for what he has broken? The Honourable Minister. What do we hear on the other side of this House? Despair. Unhelpful words that won't help Canadians. What you're hearing, that's what you're hearing, but what you're not hearing is a plan. No plan for housing, no plan for climate change, no plan for the economy, no plan for affordability. That is the no plan team, but luckily we're on this side.